And he joins me right now to talk about the Bucket List Tour. He'll be making his stop at the Houston Improv on March the 29th. Steve-O is on the show with us this morning. Steve-O, what's the word, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just roaming around on my tour bus, heading to Kansas City. And, I've been doing interviews this morning, and I'm ready to go back to bed.
I hear you, man. But let's talk about it. You're going to be here in Houston on the 29th of this month for the Bucket List Tour. What is the Bucket List Tour for people listening? What can they expect from Steve-O? Because I hear these are the things that you couldn't even show on Jackass or on YouTube.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely not. I never would have been able to do this stuff on Jackass because so much of it was just plain illegal. And some of it's like fully X-rated. It's a multimedia comedy show. I had a handful of ideas that were the only things that were distinct and not having been done. And I figured that if I was ever gonna, raise the bar again, I needed to hurry up before I got too old. So I went for it, man, and I got this crazy multimedia show. After each bit in the show, I screened the footage. The footage is so gnarly that, fairly regularly we have, full-grown men fainting in the audience, which is kind of wild. And yeah, it's coming to Houston, but I think Houston's already sold out. So,
perfect.
I don't know that there's even any more tickets available, but yeah, the Houston Improv's been good to me over the years. Been going there for many, many years now, and I've developed this craft of performing stand-up comedy and storytelling. It's fun to bring all of my worlds into one experience with the multimedia.
Well, you know what? Also, you're going to be in Corpus Christi, Texas, the next, on the 31st, and then the next day, San Antonio, Texas. So all of our Texas crowd, make sure you go support Steve-O. But let me say this, man. I got to be honest with you. Over the last couple of months, have become a even more massive Steve-O fan, and I mean this genuinely from your podcast, Steve-O's Wild Ride. I binged probably all the episodes in the last couple of months. I love the show. What made you want to do the podcast, and where the concept of doing it in the van come from?
Well, dude, first off, thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. I was resistant to the idea of doing a podcast because I just felt like everybody has one, and it was tough for me to jump on that bandwagon, particularly because I had found it so annoying when people would ask me to do their podcast. Like, oh God, no, I don't want to do your podcast, dude. And I didn't want to be that annoying guy asking other people to do my podcast. I felt like I was kind of becoming what I hated. But that was where the idea for the band came in. I thought, well, if I make the podcast studio in an RV, then I could bring the studio to the guests to make it more convenient for them. And I think that was it was a good call. And it also, yeah, dude, sorry, man, lost my signal there. I'm on the tour bus.
Hey, no worries. But hey, we were talking about the podcast, and it was a great idea to put it inside the van. I love the idea, love the concept, and I feel like, man, and I'm just keeping it completely honest with you. You have just such a genuine curiosity for everybody that steps on that tour bus. You ask some really great questions, and you can tell you that you do your research. Have you always kind of felt like you may have had that knack for a conversation the way that you do? Because everybody does have a podcast, I agree with you, but you do it a lot better than most people.
Wow, man, I appreciate that so much, man. I think sometimes it goes really well, and sometimes not as well, but boy, do I appreciate the praise, man. I really, you take the time to listen to it and say those kind words. It really means a lot, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, I mean them. I 100% mean them. And if you haven't checked out Steve-O's Wild Ride, it's another one to make sure you go subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts, or on YouTube is where I watch it. Just such a great job. And the bucket list tour, like we were talking about. A couple more things, because I know you've had a long morning. You're ready to get back to bed, get some sleep again. Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Houston, Texas. All tickets for the Steve-O's, the bucket list tour available. But Jackass Forever came out a couple of months back, or about a little over a month ago. Went to go see it in the theaters. I thought that this was the best one. How did you feel about Jackass Forever?
I thought it was really good. I don't think anything's ever going to touch Jackass number 2. That one, I think, was us really in our prime and at our worst behavior. I think Jackass number 2 is the masterpiece, but certainly Jackass Forever absolutely blew away the third one, Jackass 3D.
It
was good, man. It was really good.
What I love, I mean, Jackass number 2, of course. I mean, the taxi cab bit. I mean, there's so many in that one. But this one, I felt like the ideas were at a different level. Like, you really thought about the concepts and how to inject comedy in it. Like, even the mime skit, where, you know, y'all couldn't make noise for the pain. Like, there was just a lot of smart ideas this time around. How much of that do you contribute? I mean, I know Knoxville obviously said that he was saving ideas for years for Jackass 4. How many ideas did you come to the table that made it into the film?
I was pretty stingy with my ideas. I was, I saved my stuff for what I'm gonna do next. I was like, all right, you guys don't want to give me a better deal. I'm not giving you my best ideas. So yeah, I kept a bunch of stuff up my sleeve, and they kept me busy with the stuff they came up with. So that's cool.
Hey, man, it all worked out. But here's the thing, and if anybody out there listening, you got to go see the bucket list tour. I'm going to try to do my best to make sure I can see it in person, because everything you do, man, is 100% you. It's authentic, and I think that's why people have gravitated to you for all these years, since you first started on Jackass to Wild Boys to the podcast and the tour. You're 100% authentic, and I just appreciate you, man, taking the time, and good luck to you. And just, I'm watching from the sidelines, and You're definitely inspiration with what you've been able to do these last few years.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate that a lot, dude. It's been a pleasure talking to you, brother.
All right, that's Steve-O. The bucket list tour is in Houston on the 29th of March. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Oh, Brian, what have you done?